Stay tuned, you might be shocked. Yeah, you probably will be. All right. Greg, and today I am going to be answering the question, which cardio machine is best at burning calories and getting you ripped? Okay? Before I get into that, I am not a doctor. I'm not advising you to exercise or to not exercise. I'm not prescribing you anything. I'm just giving you some experience and knowledge from my exercise physiology degree, my master's. I know a little bit about this stuff. So stay tuned, you might be shocked. Yeah, you probably will be. All right. The worst, by far, guess what it is? Stationary bicycle. You're probably shocked because you all know I bike ride. The stationary bike is the worst form of cardio to burn off a lot of calories. Why? Why is it? Well, it's because it's a very specific area of the body that's being used to burn up these calories, specifically the legs, okay? You are sitting down, just sitting there. Your upper body is basically doing nothing. Your glutes are not doing that much. And so you're just pedaling. And most of you are half-assing it. Even worse is the recliner. Yep, I'm just doing my cardio. Coach says I do an hour a day. Wow, you burn off 150 calories. It is the worst cardio because it doesn't involve enough of the body. The body's not moving up enough. The more of the body that's being used, the more calories you're going to burn. I've coached a lot of people and they've done and I'm like, what cardio are you doing? You're not losing any weight, whatever. And they send stationary bike. I'm like, okay, how many watts are you doing? What's a watt? How many mets? What's a met? People don't know anything. How many calories? Oh, I don't know. And plus the machines overestimate and underestimate and whatever. They don't know what they're doing anyway. So, well, a met is a metabolic equivalent. It's how many times more calories you're burning than you would be at rest. So if you're exercising at 10 mets, it means that in 1 hour, you would burn as many calories as you would have watching TV, sitting and doing nothing for 10 hours, okay? Elite athletes can exercise at 15 plus mets for an hour without trouble. Your average Joe is probably going to be between 5 and 10, okay? So this will give you an idea. And watts is basically how much power you're putting through, how many calories you're burning is determined by how many watts you're putting out, okay? So stationary bike, if you are Lance Armstrong, if you are a Tour de France rider, if you are specialized in that exercise, your muscles adapt and get more fit, and so they're able to burn more calories because they're able to push more watts. It's the opposite of what people keep thinking. They think, oh, well, you get used to it, then you burn less calories because you're better at it and you're more fit. No, you burn more calories because you are pushing harder because your muscle is adapted. Like when I bench press 500 pounds, I burn more calories than when I bench press 300 pounds. Why? Because my muscles got stronger and I'm adapted to pushing that big weight. Same thing on the bike. So if you're trying to get ripped and you're trying to pick an exercise to do not pick the stationary bike. What about outside? Huge difference. Outside, you're balancing, your upper body's going, you have a hill and you stand up and you're going like this. It's a total body exercise. Your glutes are getting used every time you stand up off the seat. Huge difference. But just sitting there on the bike and pedaling away, especially on a decline and recliner bike, horrible for burning up calories, okay? So, worst. Now, if you don't know if you're good at it or not, try and look at the watts. That'll give you your best idea, okay? If you're only going at 100 watts, that sucks. You're burning 360 calories in an hour at that many watts, okay? So, if you can go at the same amount of watts as your body weight, you're burning off some good calories. So if you weigh 200 pounds and you're going at 200 watts, you are burning up some good calories. Most of the top cyclists, decently pretty good cyclists, could go 1.5 times their body weight for an hour for watts, okay? And the better ones at least double, obviously. Next, the next worst, we'll call it, the treadmill. I would have probably put it as worst, but treadmills can go on an incline. So a straight on treadmill, unless you're my Grandma Josephine, don't do flat walk treadmill. It doesn't burn enough calories. We're in shape. We're fitness people. Walking on a flat, people could do that in the old days, 12 hours a day. Just go for a walk. It doesn't burn many calories. Your legs just go, nee. How many calories do you think that burns? Well, a 155-pound person roughly burns 100 calories per mile. What's a decent pace? Most people walk 3 miles an hour. So 300 calories in an hour, walking at a decent pace. What would be fast walking? Like, holy, I'm going fast, 4 miles an hour. You're like, holy, look at that guy walking so fast. 400 calories if you're 154 pounds. Now, if you look at the calories on the machine, it often is based on how much weight you write in. Most people press start. So if you don't know how much weight is in the machine, it's not going to tell you the right amount of calories. If you weigh 310 pounds, you're burning 200 calories in a mile. So it's not going to be accurate. This is how to turn the stupid treadmill into a fat-burning, calorie-burning machine. Raise that incline. It's incredible, the difference. 15% incline, which is the standard incline maximum on a normal treadmill at any gym you go to. Some go to 30, I've seen, but most are 15. Burns double, twice as much. Memorize that. Double the calories of walking just normal on a flat. So, if you're walking 3 miles an hour on the flat, Grandma Josephine, and you angle it up to 15%, you burn 600 in the hour. It's twice as hard. Why? Because you're carrying your weight up a freaking hill. Think about it. 15% hill. Walk up a hill 15%. That's steep. When I have to go out and bike ride up 15% hills, it's a nightmare. It's horrible. It's so hard. So you're walking and you're carrying your weight up a hill versus just you're going up a hill. And if you double it again to 30%, double the calories from 15. And those of you who are good at math, 2 times 2 is 4. Quadruple, 4 times as many calories as if you're on the flat. So if you're walking 3 miles an hour at 30%, you burn 4 times as many calories as you did on the flat. 30%, 4 times as much. So if you're doing 300, you're at 1,200. That's a lot. I can't go 3 miles an hour at 30%. Man, you need to be fit to do that. So the steeper the incline, the better. So when I coach clients, I always say, put the stupid treadmill on an incline. Not 3%. I did a 3% incline. No, 15% minimum. Freaking crank that thing up and walk up a hill. Now, what do people always do? Well, 90% do this. They're holding themselves walking up the hill. If you hang on for dear life, it's the same thing like going for a walk with 200-pound dogs and you go up the hill and you're carrying the strap and they drag you up the hill. It doesn't burn more calories. So don't go by what that machine says for calories, because 90% of us are holding on to the machine, checking your heart rate and the whole thing. For whatever reason, we do it. So don't worry about it, but you do burn more calories, okay? Just know that when you hang on for dear life, it's not going to be as many calories as if you let go. Not saying can't hold on. You can hold on. Just don't bend your elbows. Don't pull. Like, you know what I mean? Just do your cardio. Do it at a moderate pace. Heart rate. Does the heart rate matter? No, I've already done videos on this. Doesn't matter. My heart rate on a treadmill now, it's usually like 115 because like I don't have any energy. It's too hard. So when I go for a treadmill walk, I'm like 115 and I'm burning, what am I doing? 2.7 miles an hour at 15%. That's what I'm doing. I don't need to get much leaner and I don't want to like burn off all my muscle from starving myself here. And I'm a week and a half out from a show. All right. Next, best, or we'll call it better option, is the stepper. Why? Because you're carrying your weight straight up a hill. It's like climbing a ladder. So kind of like the incline on the treadmill, it's like being all the way inclined. Now, what do people do? You're just hanging on for dear life and bending your legs. It's not burning any calories. Stiff arm, it's not football, stiff arm somebody. They're just stiff arming it, locking their arms like this, and then just, you're not burning calories. Stop being an idiot. Goodness gracious, people. Oh, and then they Instagram, look, 1,000 calories. I burned 1,000 calories in an hour. And it's like, yeah, 135-pound woman burned 1,000 calories in an hour in a stepper. Yeah, right. Moron, stupid. Then they'll go and eat 1,000 calories and then say, well, I don't know why I'm not losing weight because I'm in a 1,000-calorie deficit. No, you're not. A, you don't know how much you're eating because you can't track it. And B, you overestimate how many calories you're burning doing a friggin' stepper. There's no girl out there, 130 pounds, unless they're, I don't know, Olympic level athlete, marathon champion, that's burning 1,000 calories in an hour. Let's be real, okay? So stop hanging on for dear life and just making it look. I go to the gym and I look around at all these people on these machines, and it looks like they're in medieval torture chambers or something, like strapped on, holding and then trying to do their cardio, and the machine's too high, and it's like, just slow the stupid pace down. And I'm not saying you have to have your hands up off the machine, but when you're locking your arms out and leaning forward, and you're like bent over and your legs are moving down here, and it's not carrying your weight, it's not a real stepper, okay? So I don't really like the stepper, but I mean, it will burn a lot of calories if done properly. Anyway, enough of that. The best, numero uno, and I don't use the best. Why? Because this is me on a stepper. These stupid clients, these stupid morons. Why are you writing me stupid that's me, cardio for my hour a day or whatever I'm doing. I need my hands to be able to read. So, elliptical. So, you're literally using your whole body to burn calories. Your arms are going. So, chest, back, and then the legs are pushing. So your whole body is kind of working here, okay? So it burns a ton of calories, but you can't play with your phone. So when I was younger, before phones existed, because I'm 98 years old, we didn't have phones in my day, okay? I used to do the elliptical, and that was always my cardio because I burn a lot of calories, and I would usually burn 800 to 1,000 calories per hour, and I was a lot smaller, but I was also a triathlete, I was also in shape. So anyway, don't try to burn as many calories as I did. But the point is, elliptical is awesome. If you do it, it's going to burn off a lot of calories. So that's the number one. Some of you are asking, what about the rowing machine? Rowing is great, but it doesn't burn a lot of calories because it's too hard on your lower back, and you can't do it for hours on end. So although it can burn a lot of calories in a minute in a sprint test or whatever, it's just not feasible for most people to just bend their backs and pull and use their legs. And people's forms are so bad, so I don't recommend it. You don't want to overtrain your lower back, and then the next day you're doing squats and deadlifts. It's just too much. You overtrain. Okay? And good time to click subscribe. Do it. Press subscribe. Now click that bell button. Yep, right now. Yep, that's it. There you go. If you don't do it right now, be sure to do it by the end of this video. Now, should you do HIIT or steady state, or what should we do? Just to briefly go over this. Don't do HIIT cardio unless you're an athlete and you're training for something like a sport, like soccer or basketball or something. Why? Because if you're doing HIIT cardio, it's going to kill you. Not literally. It's just going to make you so tired you're going to be overtrained. You can't do HIIT cardio all the time and then expect to perform in the gym. It's too hard. It just is. And FYI, 99% of you are idiots and don't know what HIIT cardio is. Anyway, every single time, except for 1 in 100, people that write me and say I do HIIT cardio are doing interval training. HIIT cardio is all out for 20, 30 seconds, say. Then you got to rest 4 or 5 minutes because you just nearly died pushing yourself to your limit. It's not, oh, I go hard for a minute and off for a minute, hard for a minute, off. No, that's not HIIT. That's interval training. I don't know why the word HIIT became popular. When I was a high school kid and we were training for cross-country running, we called it interval training. We would do intervals. We would run hard for a minute, and then we would jog for 5 minutes, and then hard for a minute, and then jog. It was intervals. And all of a sudden, people started saying HIIT, and then HIIT is so hard. And then when I did the test, the Wingate test, I think it was called, man, that's a long time ago. You were on a bicycle, and you had to go all out right off the bat. Boom, all out, 30 seconds. 30 seconds all out. You go all out from the start, and we would just see like the decline. And for like 7, 8 seconds, you're going pretty well, awesome, and then dead. And by 25 seconds, nothing. I remember I was going like 1,200 watts for the first like 7 or 8 seconds. And then by the end of it, I was at like 2-something watts. Pathetic by the end because it went all out. If you're pacing yourself, yeah, you can just go 500 watts the whole time. That's interval training, okay? HIIT, don't do it too hard. If you think you're doing HIIT, change your story to telling people you do interval training. Use the right terminology. Or MIT, moderate intensity interval training, not HIIT. HIIT is hard, friggin' all out. What about the best way to burn calories, most calories? Moderate intensity, steady state cardio. Keep a pace that you can hold below your anaerobic threshold, which is like the point where you get like lactic acid. So in other words, a little bit slower than really hard and hold it there the whole time. That's how you're gonna burn the most calories. Rather than really hard, less hard, really hard. No, that doesn't burn more calories. And forget this afterburn, aftermath effect. It's negligible. It's only a few calories extra. So just do a consistent, steady pace. You'll slowly over time adapt to this and be able to go faster and faster and faster. So instead of doing 100 watts, a month later you'll be doing 110, then 120, 130, 140, 150. Boom. Year later, instead, during that hour of cardio, instead of burning 300 calories, you're burning 500 at the same hour. And now you're in a 200 calorie deficit more than you used to be. And you're like, well, I eat the same, but I'm leaner. Well, because you're burning off more calories. You've increased your calorie expenditure. Okay? So that wraps it up. Yeah. Now you know what cardio to do. Write your comments on what you think. Bloop in the video here. Watch it. You learn. Watch one here. You learn. Scroll back in the good old days. I have lots of videos, about 400. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Instagram. Follow me. Subscribe. Click the bell. Comment. And I am out.